In 1969, a 21-year-old woman named Norma McCorvey discovered she was pregnant. This had been her third pregnancy, the other two coming to term and the infants being given up for adoption. Mistakenly believing she'd get an abortion if she claimed she was raped, she approached the police but was rejected due to lack of evidence. Still wanting to receive an abortion, she was later referred to two attorneys, Linda Coffey and Sarah Weddington, who took up her case. The case took 3 years to reach the Supreme Court, whereupon the justices made one of the most significant decisions of the 20th century. When the suit was initially filed, it was on behalf of Jane Roe, a commonly used pseudonym in legal proceedings. That court case and subsequent decision are famously known as Roe v. Wade, the court case that legalized abortion in the United States. At about 12 p.m. today, 50 Jesuit students and faculty, along with hundreds of thousands of pro-life supporters, will, on the anniversary of that watershed decision, march from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to the steps of the Supreme Court, expressing their abhorrence at the blatant and cold disregard for human life. Through their presence, they give witness to the 44.5 million human lives lost in the United States since Roe v. Wade through illegal abortion. They assert in their witness that such a tragedy will not be unaddressed and that such a cause will not escape from the policymakers' view. The first time I had the opportunity of experiencing the march was 2 years ago. On the day of the march, a warning of an impending blizzard, which would eventually become one of DC's largest, had dissuaded some marchers from participating. However, we marched resolutely through those conditions, as did many others, in a show of solidarity for those lives so cruelly and swiftly extinguished. Upon arriving to the steps of the Supreme Court, we listened to women who had had abortions provide their accounts and testimonies of the destructive nature of that all-too-quick decision. To hear the anguish in their voices, to see the loss in their eyes was tragic. They had experienced not only a death within their wombs, but within their souls. Those women realized the true gravity of their decision, that what they'd consented to was, in effect, the termination of a dignified life. These women's experiences all shared a marked lack of support from their communities, from their families, and from their friends. And women in this position are disserviced every day by the people around them, especially their employers, which complicates their decision even further. The first step to preserving life in the womb is to affirm the women carrying that life. The pro-life cause is so necessary because when we allow abortion, we mistake humanity, something intrinsic, for a clump of cells. But it is more than that, and we are more than that. At the 5th week of pregnancy, the baby's heart begins to beat. That first beat that we all experienced initiated a series of beats that continues in us to this day. During week 10, the child's facial features become more distinct. By week 26, fingerprints and footprints, characteristics that distinguish us, begin to form. By that time, a clearly unique individual has formed. And to terminate that life will be to take something over which we have no authority. To me, the pro-life movement speaks to our ability to empathize with all forms of human life, regardless of appearance, stage of development, or mental faculties, things that are temporary. The permanence which we all possess lies in our soul, our dignity. We all share in the graces and privilege which this dignity affords us. It is our duty, not as Catholics, not as Jesuits, but as humans, to extend and protect such dignity from being further denied and destroyed. Norma McCorvey, the Roe of Roe v. Wade, realized this as well, and in the last few years of her life, became an ardent member of the pro-life movement and an outspoken advocate for the rights of all human life. It is my hope that we all, in time, will embrace these ideals with love and compassion. Thank you.